The lesson impact of British rule. Land revenue policy. So British they implemented reformation in land tax so that they could have continuous income to the East India Company's treasury, and they needed large amount of money to fund their war expenses and salary expenses of their staff, particularly the British officers. So therefore they had to collect higher land tax from the farmers. So the Governor Warren Hastings introduced bidding system to authorize tax collecting works during his period. So coming to the permanent land revenue system. So this is also called as Zamindari system. So Governor General Cornwallis decided to fix the land tax on a permanent basis in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. So the agreement was entered with the zamindars for tax collection. This was called as permanent land revenue system. So under this system, the zamindars worked as government agents. With this, the company now had access to the permanent income from the agricultural sector. So the effect of the zamindari system on the peasants or the farmers. The zamindars they exploited the farmers by collecting excess land tax. So they were collecting more land tax, more than what was asked by the government. So the farmers they were forced to pay their share even though crops had failed. So because of this the agricultural output collapsed. The company made farmers further poor by forcing them to grow commercial crops that were needed for their factories. Rayatwari system. So in this system the farmers could directly pay their land tax to the treasury without any intermediaries in the Rayatwari system. So there were no middlemen between the government and the farmer. So there was direct relationship between the government and the farmer, and this system was brought into effect in South and West India. So this system was brought into effect by Sir Thomas Munro in Madras in 1820. Then we have Mahalwari system. So Mahal means village or estates. So land tax was fixed for the entire Mahal. So the local zamindar was responsible for the tax collection from the farmers in that Mahal. So this system was in Uttar Pradesh and parts of Madhya Pradesh and Punjab. The total impact of land revenue system. So the Britishers they converted land into a marketable commodity. So as land tax was to be paid in cash form, the money gained prominence. So to increase income, the zamindars insisted on cultivating crops like cotton, jute, peanut, tobacco, sugar cane and other commercial crops instead of food crops. So commercial crops could give more profit to the zamindars. So it was profitable for the British as commercial crops could get exported, but this resulted in food shortage. English education. So the Britishers, they wanted clerks who knew English for their work, to run the administration. For the lower post, they wanted the Indians. So education is an instrument that ensures individual freedom. Knowledge that is gained through education would lead to better life. So the universalization of education profited the Indians. All classes of society could have access to education. So everyone got opportunity to get educated, whereas earlier, as per traditional system of Indian education, only the Brahmins could get educated. Only the Brahmins had the right to get education, but now it was for everyone to get education. So under the Charter Act of 1813, 1 lakh rupee was kept aside for the education of Indians, but the government had not spent anything for it till 1823. So the Indian thinkers and the Christian missionaries worked in favor of modern education to Indians. So, company needed English educated Indians to work at lower cadre offices for less salary. So, it aimed at creating an educated class that was dedicated to it. So, Lord Macaulay and Charles Wood implemented the new education system with this aim. So, there were differences. Here you can see Lord Macaulay and Charles Wood. There were differences over the medium of instruction. So many English academicians argued that the Indians should be educated in their mother tongue, and some others argued that education in modern science and literature should be given through English medium. So finally, in 1853, Governor General William Bentinck announced the education policy, which opted for instruction of Western science and English medium of instruction. So the British formulated new education system in 1854, which was based on the report of Charles Wood. So universities were established at Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. The establishment of primary schools, high schools and colleges were done stage by stage. Education departments were formed in regions to monitor and supervise education. So English became the official administrative language by 1844. Here you can see the picture of Bombay University. And here is the Madras University. So what was the impact or the effect of English education? So the traditional system slowly declined. The new education system enabled Indians from different languages to interact among themselves. So this gave impetus to the growth of national feelings. So the feeling of nationalism developed amongst the people. And the European ideas, intellectual thoughts affected the Indian thinking in a long-term perspective. So it also influenced the Indian literature and resulted in various literary movements. Economic impact. So the Industrial Revolution that took place in Europe during 18th and 19th centuries had serious impact on the trade and commerce of India. The weavers had to purchase raw materials at higher rates. The British commerce policy was aimed at facilitating the growth of industries of England only. So they wanted India to be a net importer of factory-made goods of England and a net exporter of raw materials to the England. So raw materials for the industries in England were exported from India, and the finished goods which was imported from England was sold in India. So by introducing free trade, it forced the Indian cottage industries towards extinction. So this destroyed the Indian cottage industry. In India, many small industries were existing during that time. So all those industries were destroyed because of the policy of the British. So the wealth of India flowed towards England. India became a poor country. So according to Dadabhai Nauroji, wealth drain resulted in poverty. So there were number of acts, number of laws that were implemented by the British. So Regulating Act of 1773. So the Governor General Warren Hastings implemented the Act of 1773. So this act became the base of British administration in India. This also gave a constitution to East India Company. Then Pitt's India Act was implemented in 1784. So it decided to concentrate on the issue of administrative system. So the Prime Minister William Pitt brought in an act. It included the East India Company as a part of the government and considered it as a unit. Morley-Minto reforms of 1909. So Lord Minto was the Viceroy of India. So during this period, Lord Minto was also the secretary of the Lord Morley. Minto was Viceroy and Morley was the Secretary of State of India. So due to administrative rule of Lord Curzon and violent protests from Indian revolutionaries, the Minto-Morley reforms were introduced. So according to this, the eligible Indians could be made part of the government programs. The number in the Central Legislative Assembly increased. Similarly, the regional assemblies were also expanded. Then was the Montague-Chelmsford reforms in 1919, which did not satisfy the Indians. So Indians wanted representation in administration. So the total number members at the India Council of Secretary of State was increased. Then in 1935, Morley-Minto reforms did not satisfy the Indians. So to pacify the Indians, the Government of India Act 1935 was implemented. According to it, a federal of India was formed with Federation of States and Princely States. So diarchy was introduced in central government. So responsible governments were established at regions.